Hello everyone, and good to see you again. Welcome to Eat Smoke Drink, and I'm Eat Smoke Drink. Today I'm reviewing something exceptionally exciting. I actually received this bottle sample of the Adelphi Ardbeg 14-year-old single barreling expression of Ardbeg. Now that is extremely unusual because Ardbeg in itself, there's not many independently bottled Ardbegs out there, let alone single barreling expressions, let alone age statements as well, apart from the 10. The 10 is probably a good entry level to Ardbeg. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's not a bad whiskey, but I'd rather drink something else. But I'm a big fan of the over-flavour, the Ardbeg Adelphi. But I have wanted, since this has been released, I've wanted to try this, and lucky one of my friends, Sunny from Bottolo in Hillcrest in Hamilton here in New Zealand, has kindly given me a sample of Ardbeg Adelphi. This is 60.7%. 60.7%. Comparing that to that's a pretty high percentage of Ardbeg. Now the over-flavour is about mid-50s, so that's also very high. But this particular one is a bourbon barrel, single barrel expression bottling of Ardbeg. Same thing as usual, I'm going to put water in one and none on the other. Okay, so let's start nosing. I'm quite excited. This is something that just to kind of let you know and give you an insight to the reason why I'm so excited. There was only 4 of these bottles in the country that came in. 4. The whole of New Zealand, 4. That's 1 per million people in New Zealand. That's a lot of millions. But also, this is a $650 New Zealand dollar bottle, so that's about $450 US per bottle. $400 US. So it's not hard, it's not easy to get, and it's bloody expensive as well. So let's start nosing. Woo. From the get-go, it's very quintessential Ardbeg straight away. I'm not getting much sweetness in there. I'm getting very savory characters already from the get-go. I can smell the salinity. Oh, what I'm getting. I'm getting bandage glue. That leucoplast, that brown tape that you get. I'm getting that glue. Just move it around a bit more. Ooh. I'm not getting much fruit in there. I'm getting a little bit of vanilla. I'm definitely getting ginger, spice. I'm getting black pepper, white pepper. Oh man, everything about it is just a peat overload. I'm getting a lingering campfire smoke. Like a burnt kelp almost. The peat they use in Isla is a peat unique to that island, that area, and so it's a very much organic matter from the ocean and sea, and years and years and centuries of organic matter compacting with salt, salinity, iodine, seaweed, and all of that. And you can almost envisage that in this glass. When I nose it a little bit more, I'm getting a little bit of a slightly bit of fruitiness in there. I'm getting an unripe pear, an unripe apricot, but it's hard to go past the extreme waft of smoke, extreme waft of peat, the slightly burnt rubber, glue, bandage glue. That's just. And it's hard for me to explain, but I remember as a child, my grandfather gave us this old World War II era burn lotion, and it's got that oiliness in there. Oh, absolutely massive. And let's try it. Let's try it with the water. Straight away, the difference. With the water, the peat subsides. The peat subsides a little bit. I'm getting a pine cone, a pine resin in there. I mean, it sounds a little strange, but I'm getting that smell of a whiteboard marker. You know, when you're writing on a whiteboard, I'm getting that fumey, chemically smell. I'm getting ginger. The vanilla is not coming through as much, actually. Actually, with the water, the nose subdues straight away. So, with the water, the nose just disappears. So already, I'm saying on the nose, I like it without water. So let's try it. Holy moly. As soon as I put it in my mouth, I immediately get a jalapeno, like a green pepper, like a green bell pepper, jalapeno cross type of pepper. Whoa. Grass. I'm getting just fresh cut grass straight on the palate. But the alcohol is just extreme, like it just hits you in the face, followed very closely by smoke. It's like a smoking meat. Bacon. I'm getting a little bit of bacon, just a little bit of bacon. Oh, it just coats the mouth, so oily. And I'm getting that gumboot. I'm getting like a rubber gumboot type of smell and taste in the back of my throat there. Man, I'm really liking that. It's a big whiskey. It's massive. Like, it hits you in the face. There's no denying it. I mean, I wouldn't touch it if you're not into heavily peated, heavily robust whiskeys. I wouldn't even touch it. I wouldn't go there. I might buy a bottle to collect it, because it'll go up in price, I guarantee it. It's probably a good one to invest in. Oh man, I mean, I actually on the palate with no water, I'm not getting much there. I'm getting spiciness, pepper. I'm getting a heat like that green capsicum cross jalapeno. It's a good heat. I mean, I can't even taste the vanilla that I could smell before. I'm getting earthiness, wet soil. The salinity is making my mouth salivate really heavily. Like an iodine smell, like a umami seaweed, dry seaweed smell. That is a big whiskey. That is a giant whiskey. All 60% of that just hits you in the mouth. But let's try the one with water and see what happens. With water, that's much better. Definitely prefer it with water, just a few drops. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit more in this to see what happens. With a few more drops of water, funny enough, it actually increased the heat of that pepper. It increased the heat of that pepper with water. I mean, I can feel it right now lingering, like I've just eaten a chili. The salinity has subsided a little bit, but that heat has come through. But with that heat comes the smoke, the campfire, the burnt wet wood, the cut grass, the burnt rubber, the glue, the elastoplast, the leucoplast glue, the bandage glue, that comes through. It smells like, you know, you're lying down beside a hospital bed. I know it sounds weird, but you know when you're in hospital, you smell that cleaner they use and that bandage, the plaster. It smells like that. It really does smell like that. I mean, I'm associating it with that. It smells like just a newly opened box of trainers, you know. Very bizarre. The pine resin coats my mouth. My mouth is coated. It's oily, super oily, so oily that I'm struggling to get it out of my mouth. But I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. With water, definitely better. With water, spice comes out. The ginger, but a sweet candied ginger, not the spicy ginger with no water. The alcohol burn subsides a lot, which is great. But that heat in the mouth, like a chili, that's just completely... I'm adding 2 more drops to see what happens. It sounds really weird, but right in the aftertaste, I am getting a medicinally taste, almost reminiscent of that salted plum you get in Malaysia. In Malaysia, you get these salted plum drinks, and in the bottom of it, this lemonade or limeade or whatever it is, and then in the bottom of it, there's a salted plum, and then right in the end, when you're right that much in the bottom, you get that saltiness with that medicinal fruitiness right in the end. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay, the nose is almost disappeared now with the extra drops of water. Oh wow, it's changed again. That whiskey can take a lot of water. It can take a lot of water. Well, again, it's different, more subdued again, but the heat is gone. But predominantly, I'm getting a lot of burnt rubber. I'm getting a lot of resin. Becomes two-dimensional. So the halfway in between is definitely my preferred. The complexity on all 3 samples is just all over the place. It's just huge. There's no doubt in its complexity. I mean, whether you like it or not, I reckon this is going to be quite a polarizing dram. I mean, the first sip hit me in the mouth, like it just smashed me in the face. The second dram that I had, which had just a few drops of water in it, I think was a Goldilocks zone. I think that was ideal because it gave you all the flavor profiles. It didn't drown it. It didn't hide it. It just kind of let itself. That is a fantastic dram. All up, I think that, I mean, the finish, I'm going to be tasting this for hours today. There's no way this will leave my mouth. Super oily, super complex, super strong, uber smoky. This whiskey is massive. It's not for the faint-hearted. If your favorite whiskey is a Japanese whiskey or a Speyside whiskey, if that's your favorite, this is probably not for you. This is not quintessential Islay. This is Islay on steroids. So this single barrel expression is absolutely mind-boggling, and yeah, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. It's my first single barrel Ardbeg that I've actually tried. I've had a lot of Ardbegs. I've had the limited edition Ardbegs. I've had some old Ardbegs in terms of old releases, but this is the first single barrel independently bottled Ardbeg I've ever had, and it didn't disappoint. But I will say it may disappoint a lot of people because it might not be for you. It's just a relatively confusing whiskey. It's just huge. But thank you for joining me today. Yeah, I'm very excited to try this whiskey today, as you can tell. And click subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Ask me questions, and don't forget to ring that bell. Unique New York, unique New York.